Hi, this is Mike with Family Time Fitness, back for our next installment of 50 States in 50 Days, looking at the physical education requirements in each state. So the past 2 days we've gone through Alabama and Alaska, and today we are looking at Arizona. So what are the physical education requirements in the state of Arizona? If we look at just looking at some data and some numbers, there's just over estimated just over 35,000 families who are homeschool students, children in the state of Arizona. And again, at Family Time Fitness, we help provide physical education programs primarily for homeschool families. And so, if you know someone living in Arizona today and you want to share this information with them, we would appreciate it if you pass that information along to them. So. Arizona, been there a couple times, driven through it a couple times. Probably some of the most beautiful sunsets that I've seen driving through the state of Arizona. So the time that I've spent there, really enjoyed the state of Arizona. But if we're looking at today, we're just real briefly looking at the homeschool or the physical education requirements. Again, this is just for information purposes only. If you need to look deeper into it or you have questions, obviously look at the standards that are on the Arizona Department of Education website. There's other documents that will give you a lot more detail than what I'm able to provide in these few minutes today. But right now in the state of Arizona, for all students, there's no specific requirements for the number of minutes of physical education that are required, whether it's an elementary school age or middle school, junior high age, or high school age. There's no requirement for physical education for high school graduation, but the state of Arizona does require that the student is able to demonstrate a competency in physical education. And so what does that look like? And I'm just really briefly going to go through it because there's a lot of information, and you can look it up and look at on the state of Arizona Department of Education website if you have any questions about what it looks like. But just really briefly, like a lot of the other states, the state of Arizona uses the national standards. They have standards that comply with the national education standards. So again, they look at one of the things that they want to look at is the competency that a child is able to move in a variety of settings, that they have motor skills and movement patterns that they've developed that they can apply to a number of movement settings. And that changes as the child ages, what they're looking at. They need to have a knowledge of concepts and principles of movements and strategies of movement. They have to have a knowledge and a skill to maintain a health and physical activity over the course of their life. And again, that varies depending on age and how you demonstrate that. They learn that they're responsible for their own fitness and well-being and how that applies and interact in a group or social setting and also individually. And then that they value physical education and health for over their lifetime. And so they learn those skills as they progress through their education process. And so how do you demonstrate those competencies? What are they looking at? In a kindergarten through second grade student, if we'll look at the first standard 1, so that they're competent. They can show competency in a variety of different movement skills. So what does that look like? From a locomotor standpoint, in kindergarten through second grade, so 5 to 7, 8-year-olds, those children should be able to hop, gallop, skip, run, shuffle, slide, jump. They're maybe learning those skills, but they're also maturing in those skills, and then maybe starting to be able to apply those skills in different settings. They should be able to demonstrate that they know how to run. That's another one. Jumping and landing, and then, for example, jumping rope. So a kindergarten through second grader should be able to at least have an idea of how to do those things. And we can also apply some movement patterns to dancing, so they're getting some rhythm. So maybe there's music and they're able to move to music and demonstrate some of those skills. Being able to balance, being able to weight transfer from one foot to the other, and kind of getting an idea of what that's like. They should be able to underhand throw a ball. They should be able to catch a ball. They should be able to dribble a ball with their hands. They should be able to dribble a ball with their feet, at least the basic idea of that. So those are just a few different motor skills that certainly isn't the whole list, but that gives you an idea of how we measure competency. Can they do those things? And obviously, as they get a little bit older, they get into third, fifth grade through fifth grade. They can do that with a little bit better, and maybe in some different situations. So their patterns of running and walking and skipping and jumping and hopping are a little bit more mature, and they can put those in some different types of settings. They can balance using equipment. They can twist and bend, and they can throw and catch. So they can do those types of things. And then as they progress into high school, middle school, high school age, can they do that in maybe a game type of setting or an activity type of setting? So that just looks at one kind of standard. There's those 5 different standards that we go through. But again, like I said, I don't want to take up a lot of time of your time. But it gives you a general idea of what your kids need to know. And that alone, just the movement patterns alone, that's a lot. And so if you are living in the state of Arizona and you're homeschooling your kids, or they're going to a virtual or charter school, or you have the option to provide education for them at home, check us out at Family Time Fitness. We can help your kids develop those skills. We have lessons that we've put together. They're all pre-planned, really easy to follow along, and they're going to help your kids develop those locomotor skills. They're going to work and then work on those skills in fun type of settings. So again, just to summarize, state of Arizona, no time requirements and no graduation requirements for physical education, but the child has to be able to demonstrate competency in these areas of physical education. And so it means they got to work on it. The national recommendation, 30 to 50 minutes a day for elementary, middle school, junior high, high school kids. That's kind of the recommendation. So working on those skills on a daily basis. So that's the state of Arizona. If you enjoyed this video, or people that might enjoy it or might need to learn more about physical education, feel free to share this video, like it, share it, and help spread the word about physical education. So we appreciate you signing in. Check back with us tomorrow, and we'll be going through this. We'll be talking about the state of Arkansas. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.